Hello there, Northrop Grumman employees. Welcome and thank you so much for spending just a bit of your afternoon here with us today. I'm Sam. I moderate these presentations. I'll be behind the scenes. If you have any questions, feel free to use the Q&A box on the screen. It's completely anonymous, and I'll make sure to field those questions to one of our Northrop Grumman advisors. We're going to get started in just a few seconds with Michael Corgett, one of our Northrop Grumman focused financial advisors. He's going to be talking to you about some really great pension planning tips. But before he gets started, I'd like to just quickly remind you that we are not Northrop Grumman here. We are not affiliated nor endorsed by Northrop Grumman. We are a completely independent group of financial advisors. So please keep that in mind as you're listening along. Next, please consider following us on YouTube. We also have a page on LinkedIn. We post a ton of content for Northrop Grumman employees and retirees. So we really feel you get value out of it if you considered giving us a follow. And lastly, in the presentation today, I will be entering some links. They're going to pop up right above our heads. You can click directly on those links. They'll guide you to our website where you will find many, many valuable resources, such as a calendar to book a free appointment with one of our advisors. You can also subscribe to our newsletter where you will have access to many, many blogs for Northrop Grumman employees. So take advantage of that. And without further ado, we're going to jump into it now with Michael Corgett.
Thank you, Sam, and welcome everyone to today's presentation on the Northrop Grumman pension plan, which is a complex plan, and we're going to try and simplify it as best we can today. The various parts A, B, and or C, and then part D, and just some thoughts, guidance, and our advice as to how we might be able to help you moving forward. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We're talking about the old Northrop Grumman Space and Mission Systems Corporation's Pension Benefit Plan. Your benefit at various retirement ages, your eligibility, and some important considerations to keep in mind. As you are probably well aware, if you've been with the company any length of time, there are basically three pieces to the overall calculation of your pension benefits. Now, for the most part, those of you that were with the company prior to 2004 do or have earned credits under Part A, which is part of the calculation. Then at the beginning of 2005 through 2010, was the 5-year transition period, and there was two different calculation formulas integrated depending on your transition company and type. So either Part B or Part C will apply. The good news is that you will get, both of them will be calculated, but you will get the greater of the two. And then Part D is the balance of the benefit that you've earned since 2010, and that equals your total pension benefit. Okay, not complex, right? Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. First, you must have been hired prior to 2004 to be eligible for a pension benefit at all, and you must be a salaried employee. A lot of credits here, lots of information on pension concepts, credited services, break in service, early retirement, eligible pay, eligible service, so on and so forth. We're going to try and do our best to explain some of this if it is brought up, and hopefully you will be able to follow along. Part A, we'll go through the Part A benefit calculation. We'll talk about early retirement and then the benefit amounts, and we're going to go through three different examples. The Part A benefit calculation is as so. First, your monthly final average earnings times 1.5%. This is for the years of service that you earned up to the end of 2004. You get the higher calculation factor for those years up to the 35 years of service. For those years, the monthly final average earnings after 2004, beginning of 2005, you get a lower credited factor of 1.33%. And also, this is in excess of 35 years of service. And then finally, you have the Social Security offset, which is a 0.4% times the years of service that are being credited for Part A through 2000 and at the end of 2004 for up to 35 years of service. I know it sounds complex, but this calculation is laid out very well on the company's website when you look for the calculation. Early retirement, that is an option. You are eligible. There is just a reduced benefit amount for pre-2000 participants. Again, we're going back a long way. Normal retirement benefit is multiplied by the following rates with the Social Security offset. Okay, so any retirement age over the age of 60, you will receive 100% of your calculated monthly benefit. But if you choose to retire early, as you can see here, the reduction factor per year equals 4%, as the table indicates. So early retirement as early as age 55, yes, you do have a pension benefit, but your full retirement age benefit is going to be reduced by 20%. Please keep that in mind. Our first example is someone retiring at age 65 who had 30 years of service, Part A benefit service, and their final average earnings was $7,000 a month, while their Social Security covered compensation was $5,500 a month. The amount without offset, $7,000 times 1.5% times 30 years of service. Again, all Part A service equals $3,150 a month. The offset amount for Social Security with the same 30 years reduces that benefit by $660 a month to give this retiree $2,490 a month in pension benefits without any reductions because he or she is retiring at age 65. Our second example, again, a pre-2000 participant, but someone who is considering retiring early at age 58. They only have 28 years of Part A service, not 30. Their monthly final average earnings benefits is calculated on a lower monthly amount. Person just happened to earn less with the same Social Security covered compensation. So again, $5,200 a month final average earnings times the 1.5% conversion factor times the number of years of service with the reduction. There's a 92% because they're retiring 2 years prior to age 60. So this individual earns $2,009 a month. Again, it's an early retiree. The offset amount for Social Security reduces that benefit by $535 and change a month. So this individual will be able to collect Part A benefits after age 62 of $1,473 a month because they've chosen to retire early. And then finally, example for another pre-2000 participant retiring at age 62. Again, 30 years of Part A benefit service, similar monthly benefit, final average earnings of $7,000 a month, same Social Security compensation, just retiring a few years earlier, not at age 65. The amount paid for those 4 years prior to 65 are going to be a slightly reduced amount. You could see the offset and then the Part A benefit, which is similar to what you saw on the previous slide in example 2. I know this is complex, and again, this calculation is easily determined on the company website, but it is good to try and get an idea and understand how your benefits are calculated. Now we're going to go into the transition period, which is the 1st of January 2005 through the end of 2009. This is the 5-year transition period when the two companies were transitioning together. We're going to do the Part B and the Part C calculation. But as I mentioned, you're going to get the greater of the two, and I'll show you here an example just in a moment. If a participant in Part A before 12/31 of 2004, their Part A benefit is preserved. That will not change. It's the program, the calculation effective 1/1 of 2005 is what we're going to talk about now. Okay. What you see here is, again, a benefit equal to 1.5% times the average pension earnings times the years of service up to the age of 35, and then 1.33% average pension times the average pension earnings times the number of years of service in excess of 35 years with the offset. It's the same offset calculation, 4% of Social Security covered comp times the number of years of service up to age 35. I'm sorry, years of service, 35. The Part C calculation is a little different. It uses the cash balance amount, which is the balance plus pay-based credits plus interest credits. Everyone starts with a balance of 0. Pay credits equal the pay-based credit percentage times your monthly pension eligible compensation, which is calculated similarly to the previous calculations. The interest credit is equal to the monthly interest credit rate times the value of the monthly benefit as of the first of the month. Again, I understand this is complex, but here is the Part C benefit factor tables. Points are essentially your age and your years of service. So for the most part, most of you are going to be at 65 and above, but as you can see how these factors apply towards all pay, excess pay for both the Heritage Plan, the Standard Plan, and then the new plan. Again, I know it's confusing, but these do make a difference. And let's look at a graph where you see the standard for the new schedule of pay-based credits. In this case, up to age 45 with 20 years of service, that's when this individual was essentially, these are the Part A benefits. But beyond the Part B and C benefits under the new plan and the current plan, as you can see, going on, and as time goes on with the early retirement penalties being phased out, this individual is getting a higher and higher future benefit, which is obviously going to work better for any individual the longer that they wait, but it also does help to have years of service under your belt. Another example, here's an individual, age 58, got 28 years of service, total points is 86, which is, again, just your age and years of service combined, with a compensation of $70,000. The Part B calculation, pre-62 is $402 a month, post-62 is $310. Under the Part C calculation, with the rule of 9 being applied, which we'll talk about here momentarily, is a lesser amount. So this individual is going to get the Part B calculation, the higher of the two. Please keep that in mind and remember that. Part D, which is the newest portion of the overall pension benefit, the rule of 9. The rule of 9 is your cash balance account value divided by a conversion factor of 9 and then divided by 12. That equals your lifetime monthly payment, and this only applies to Parts C and D. Again, Part A have been locked in. So the rule of 9 graph is right here. You've got, as time goes on, as you age, the early retirement factors are less. So it is obviously better for you to wait longer, but you do have the option of retiring earlier under the rule of 9. The annuity factor, as you can see here, without the enhanced early retirement subsidy is higher. So the calculation based on $100,000 plus 11.5 divided by 12 equals a monthly annuity of $724 and change. But with the enhanced early retirement subsidies and the lower factor, that equates to a higher monthly benefit. Both calculations are run, but in this case, obviously, 2, you're going to get the higher of the 2 monthly figures. Finally, payment options. Well, under Parts A, B, C, and D, all have traditional monthly annuity factors, the single life annuity being the highest monthly benefit, but you have joint and 100%, joint and 75%, and joint and 50% survivor options across the board. You also have a 10-year period certain option under the SPP program. That's for those individuals who don't have a spouse or their spouse is gone, to where they could take a slightly smaller single life annuity benefit. And if they die during the first 10 years, that monthly benefit will continue to get paid to their beneficiaries. There is a lump sum option for Part A only, the oldest part of the plan. So in that case, you could take the lump sum for Part A and the monthly annuity benefits for either Part B or C and Part D. Some resources you might want to consider. Well, obviously, you can reach out to the company. You could give them a call here at 1-800-894-4194. You can go to the Fidelity website. And obviously, you can reach out to look for benefits on the northropgrumman.com website. I can't say this is there's nothing more important to this, and I've been doing this a long time. Making sure that you have a plan and not waiting till the absolute last minute is very important. Most Americans, as you can see here, do not have a plan. Most Americans who have begun a plan much sooner than their retirement age, the better off they're going to be. One of the things I found is if you have a plan 5 to 10 years prior to your potential retirement date, you're going to be much better off financially, especially by being able to smartly eliminate or reduce potential tax obligations without proper planning, and you'll more than likely be adding additional monies to the savings plan, as well as investing it more aggressively with the help of and guidance from an advisor. So I can't tell you how important it is to have a plan. We are happy to put together a complimentary retirement cash flow analysis. We're a team of advisors that have been around a long time. We've got offices nationwide. We've got a good knowledge of all of your benefits programs. And again, we're happy to offer this complimentary financial analysis. You can follow us on our LinkedIn page by scanning this QR code here. We have a great LinkedIn page. We offer a lot of resources on it. You can also look for all of our future webinars that might be relevant, like Social Security or healthcare benefits, along with pension calculations and 401k benefit programs. You can give us a call or send us an email. We'd look forward to hearing from you. If you'd like to, you could schedule a meeting here with myself or one of my colleagues by scanning the QR code here on the left. You can also, again, scan this QR code here on the right and follow us on our LinkedIn page. I know I apologize. I hope I just don't want to oversimplify this calculation because it is complex, but it is good for you to understand that your time with the company is important, that whether you're eligible for a pension benefit, and how the various factors and how your earnings play into that calculation. So we look forward to hearing from you sometime soon. Thank you and have a great day.